area under velocity time graph will give you distance. Now you see this graph. Yes, you see this graph. From this graph, what will you observe here? Now you see this graph. Initially the vehicle is moving with 30 meter per second. So after applying brakes, what will happen? The speed is gradually decreases, right? Gradually it is decreasing with respect to time. Means our vehicle is decelerating, uniformly decelerating. Your vehicle speed, not suddenly you are stopping. You are applying the brakes. So that how you are applying the brakes? How you are applying the brakes? You are decelerating uniformly, like that you are applying brakes. Your speed is gradually decreasing with respect to time here. Okay, so in this case what is happening? Your speed is gradually decreasing with respect to time, right? So this will give you uniform deceleration. So initially you are moving with 30 meter per second, right? So after some time, what is happening here with respect to time? Your speed is slowly, gradually it is decreasing with respect to time, right? Equal time of interval in equal speed. So it decreases equal speeds in equal time of intervals, right? It decreases equal speeds in equal time of intervals. So we can say that your vehicle is decelerating uniformly. Decelerating means your speed of the vehicle is decreasing. Okay, finally it reaches to zero when it is touched here, right? When it is touched 20 seconds, that means your velocity becomes zero. Finally your vehicle stops here at 20 seconds, right? Within 20 seconds your vehicle speed gradually decreases and reaches to zero. Okay, it indicates uniformly decelerating. You are getting slope like this means, yes, you are getting negative slope means that will indicate decelerating. Your speed is decreasing slowly with respect to time. Now you see here your speed is changing always, right? Your speed is always changing. Your velocity is sometimes increasing, sometimes decreasing, again sometimes increasing, again sometimes decreasing. What it will give you? It will give you the non-uniform acceleration. What it will give? It will give you the non-uniform acceleration. Next one. Yes, equation of motions by graphical method. Here we have the three equations of motions, right? The motion of a body moving with uniform acceleration can be described with the help of the three equations. So, in which situation you have to use your these three equation of motion? If our vehicle is moving with uniform acceleration, right? This is very important. If your vehicle with uniform velocity, in that case, what will happen? So, in that case, we have to use. So uniform velocity means acceleration value is zero. So okay. So if your vehicle is moving with uniform velocity, in that case acceleration value is zero. Okay. So when we have to use these equations, if your vehicle with if your vehicle speed is increasing gradually or decreasing gradually, or it is your speed is varying, in that case you have to use this. No, your speed is not varying. Your speed is increasing gradually or decreasing gradually uniformly. In that case only we have to use these three equation of motion. Suppose your speed is increasing equal intervals of time, your speed is increasing equally, means you have to use, that means your vehicle is moving with uniform acceleration. In this case your vehicle is moving with uniform acceleration, right? Now, so here we have the three equation of motions. What are the equations of motion? Here we have v equal to u plus at, s equal to ut plus of at square, v square minus u square equal to 2as, right? What is v indicates final velocity, u indicates initial velocity, a indicates the acceleration, t indicates the time. So s means distance traveled, right? Distance traveled is s. Okay, s equal to ut plus of at square, 2a is equal to v square minus u square. Let us see. Then how we will get this? By graphical method, these three equation of motion, derivation of these three equation of motion. Let us see. Now, so here on y-axis we are taking velocity and x-axis we are taking time, right? So the body is moving with uniform velocity, right? Body is having some initial velocity also. Body is not starting from the rest. If it is starting from the rest, the graph starts from the zero origin. But it is not starts from the rest, it starts from the A, right? Body is moving with initial velocity, right? Finally the body velocity reaches to V, right? So at B the body reaches to velocity V. The body velocity increases from initial velocity u to final velocity v within the time. t seconds. So in this case, so here we are drawing one perpendicular lines, right? A to D and B to E. And also here we have one line, so BC, and here BC only, BD or BC, right? So here perpendicular lines BC and BE are drawn from the point B to the time and velocity axis. Just what we are doing here. So we are plotting on perpendicular lines from B to C and B to E. So B to time axis and B to velocity axis. We are plotting the lines, perpendicular lines, right? And velocity axis. So that the initial velocity is OA. Here, what is our velocity? Initial velocity indicates you. Then body is moving with some initial velocity. What is the initial velocity? Body is having OA velocity. Body is moving with some initial velocity OA, right? Next one. Then final velocity is BC. Then final velocity is BC. So this will give you, OA will give you initial velocity and BC will give you final velocity, right? Then time interval is OC here. This is the time interval OC. OC will give you time interval. And draw AD parallel to OC. So we are plotting here one line here AD, so which is parallel to OC. Okay. We observe that BC equal to BD plus DC. Now you see from this line we can say that BC equal to, we can write BD plus DC. How will you write this BC? So BC we can write like this, BC equal to BD plus DC. Yes, BD means this one is BD and this one is DC, right? BD plus DC. And also we can say that this DC we can replace with OA also, right? These are the parallel lines having the same values, right? So this DC we can replace with OA. Then BC equal to BD plus OA, right? So what BD will give you? BD will give you velocity, right? And OA will give you initial velocity. Okay, right? So here substituting BC value. So BC value is V, right? Then BD plus OA value is U. Now you see here you observe BC equal to BD plus OA, right? Let us assume, here you assume. So BC equal to V. What is the BC of this? BC means up to here. Wait. Just a minute. So this is the BC. What it will give you? This will give you the value V, final velocity. Okay. So BC we replacing with the final velocity. Is it clear up to here? Next one, here OA indicates initial velocity. This OA will give you initial velocity U, right? Initial velocity U. And this will give you final velocity. BC will give you final velocity. OA will give you initial velocity. Then what is the BD value we got here? BD is, we know that V minus U, right? So BD is equal to BD. How will you get BD? BD? We can write like this: BC minus OA, right? So where BC value is V and OA value is U. So BD means V minus U. It will give you change in velocity. BD will give you change in velocity. So this will give you change in velocity. Change in velocity is V minus U, right? Already we know that acceleration means change in velocity by time, right? Acceleration means change in velocity by time. So change in velocity value we have BD, right? And change in time will give you AD. So AD, OC both are same now, parallel lines, right? This value give you AD. So change in velocity by time. So change in velocity will give you BD, and the time value will give you AD. AD is a parallel to the OC line. So OC axis will give you the time axis, right? So time AD is a parallel to the OC, right? So BD by AD. So this we can replace with BD by OC. Why? Because here AD is parallel to OC. So we can say that acceleration equal to change in velocity by time, V minus U by T, right? V minus U by T. So when you take minus U this side, you will get V equal to U plus AT. Is it clear, everyone? V equal to U plus AT. This is the first equation of motion. In the first equation of motion, what we are doing? We are taking change in velocity by time. Change in velocity, where from we are getting? From BD value we are getting. Okay, BD we can write as total value BC minus OA. BC will give you the final velocity and OA will give you the initial velocity. So BD will give you the change in velocity V minus U by time. Time will give you the AD, as AD is the parallel to the OC, right? So BD by OC. So then from this equation we will get BD value is V minus U, AD value is the T, right? A equal to V minus U by T. So T, when you take it this side, it will become into AT, right? Into T. So V minus U equal to AT. Then minus U, when you take it this side, it will become plus U. So V equal to U plus AT. Is it clear, everyone? So first equation of motion is V equal to U plus AT. How we are getting? From the BD value, change in velocity, and by AD value, BD by AD, that will give you acceleration. Acceleration equal to change in velocity is BD and change in time. So within time T, the velocity changes to V minus U, right? So change in velocity by time will give you the acceleration. This is a first equation of motion. So move on to the next one, second equation of motion. So it's a very important for your exam purpose. It will so compulsory question it is. I'm expecting this question. Yeah, equation of just a minute. Equation for position velocity relation 2a is equal to v square minus u square. Then how will you get this second equation of motion v square minus u square equal to 2as? Okay, then here we are taking a consider the velocity time graph again. Okay, a body moving with uniform acceleration a traveled a distance s in time t. The distance traveled by the body between the points A and B. So A and B is the area of the OABC. Then how will you get the distance? Yes. How will you get the distance? Distance is area under the velocity time graph will give you the distance, right? Area under the velocity time graph, right? So what is the area under the velocity time graph? This is this one. So this one, this trapezium will give you the, right? This trapezium will give the distance. So that is the trapezium, area of the trapezium. So here distance equal to area of the trapezium of OABC, right? OABC, this one. OABC, just a minute. Just a minute. So this is, yeah, this will give you the trapezium, right? So what is the formula of trapezium? Sum of two parallel sides, right? That is OA plus BC. OA plus BC, sum of parallel sides, into gap between the parallel lines, that is OC. So here AO and BC is the parallel lines. The gap between these two lines will give you the OC. So area of trapezium means half of the sum of the parallel sides into OC. Parallel sides here OA we have and BC we have. What OA will give you? OA will give you the initial velocity U and BC will give you the final velocity V. So OA plus BC, that is U plus V by 2, and the gap between these two lines will give you the time, that is OC or AD, right? OC will give you the time. So what will you get here? AC S equal to U plus V by 2 into T, right? From velocity time relation, we have the relation V equal to U plus AT, right? So V equal to U plus AT. So from this line, we can say that T equal to V minus U by A. In the place of T, we are substituting V minus U by A value, right? In the place of T, what we are substituting? V minus U by A value. When you do this, what will you get here? V plus U into V minus U by A, right? So this will give you A plus B into A minus B. A square minus B square. So V plus U into V minus U, what will you get? V square minus U square. So this by 2A, when you take it this side, it will become into S, 2AS. 2AS equal to V square minus U square. Then how we are getting this this equation of motion? V square minus U square equal to S by distance. Area under the curve, AB curve, will give you the distance. Then area of OABC will give you the distance. When you find the area of the trapezium, then you will get this equation, right? Then substituting the OA value U and BC value is V, then we will get U plus V, that is sum of the parallel lines OA plus BC. What is the area of the trapezium? Half of the sum of parallel sides, plus gap between the parallel lines or distance between the parallel lines. Okay, So distance between parallel lines. Distance between parallel lines. Distance between the parallel lines. Okay. So this will give you the so u plus v into t by 2. So t here v minus u by a, right? When you substitute this, you will get u v plus u into v minus u by 2a. So a plus b into a minus b, what will you get here? V square minus u square by 2a. When you take it this side, it will become into 2a, right? So this is about v square minus u square equal to 2a's graph equation. Sorry. Next equation. Move on to the next equation. Move on to the next equation. This is the last slide. So last second slide. One more. We have one more slide. Here we have one more slide. And where is another one? Yeah. S equal to, this is I skipped this. This is S equal to ut plus half at square. This is the second equation of motion, right? So how will you get this S equal to ut plus half at square? Same thing we are getting here. So S equal to ut plus half at square. So here we have to replace the, just a minute, right? So S equal to area of OABC, that distance, this, how will you get the distance? Area under VT graph will give you the distance. The area of OABC will give you the distance, that is trapezium. So initially already we discussed this, OA into OC plus half into AD into BD, right? So here OA will give you the U, right? This will give you the U, and this will give you the V. Okay. So here we have to find the area of the trapezium. Similarly, we have to find that for third equation of motion. We have done same thing here. Wait just a minute. So this is the OA, this is the BC. These are the parallel lines. So these parallel lines we are taking here, not this one. Sorry. Just a minute. Just a minute. Yeah, OA, OC, area of the trapezium, OC and AB. So this trapezium is split into two parts, right? Like this we are splitting. Okay, the first part will give you the triangle and the second part will give you the rectangle. Okay, so this will give you the rectangle. This is a rectangle, right? This is a triangle. Okay, I'm taking in the different colors this. So this is triangle, right? And we have to find your area of the triangle. This is area of the triangle, ABD. And also we have to find the area of rectangle. So to derive the S equal to ut plus half at square, this area we are splitting into two parts. First part is triangle and next part is the rectangle. Now you have to consider the area of the triangle. How will you get the area of triangle? So first part is, let us consider the pink color part is area of the rectangle. How will you get the area of rectangle? Length into breadth. Length into breadth. Your length is, so breadth is OA and length is OC. Right? OA into OC will give you the area of rectangle. Then OA will give you U, right? Then OC will give you T, right? So from this we got here UT. And half of the AD into BD. Half of the AD into BD. This is a half of base into height. What is the base of this triangle? Base of the triangle is AD and height of the triangle is BD. Okay, again I am telling you, base of the triangle is AD, height of the triangle is BD. So this will give you the base, right? So this will give you the height. Half into AD into BD. AD means this is AD is parallel to the time axis. AD will give you the time, right? And BD will give you the BD. Already initially we got here BD equal to V minus U by, just a minute. Acceleration equal to V minus U by T. Wait. Acceleration equal to BD by OC we got. So in previous slide we got like this, right? So accelerate BD equal to what here? BD means V minus U. So that is, you no need to take here V minus U. So directly we can take here BD equal to acceleration into this OC will give you the time, right? So BD will give you A into T. V minus U equal to AT, right? So that BD value give you the change in velocity. So in the place of BD here we have to substitute the AT. Okay. So we got here AT. Now you replace these values in the equation. Then OA is u, right? And OC is the t. OA value is the initial velocity, it will give u, and OC will give you the time t, right? OA into OC will give you the ut plus half of the AD into BD, t into AT. What will you get here? AT square. So directly you will get your S equal to ut plus half AT square. So to get the second equation of motion, what we have to do? We have to split the area into two parts. So first part will give you the rectangle and second part will give you the triangle. So from the rectangle you can take directly values. OA you have to replace with the initial velocity, OC you have to replace with the time. That will give you the UT plus the triangle is there. Triangle means area of the triangle is area of the triangle is half of the base into height. Here base is AD, height is the BD. So AD will give you the time t and BD will give you the change in velocity v minus u equal to AT, right? BD will give you the AT value, A into t, acceleration into time. Already we got from previous slide. So we got BD equal to v minus u by v minus u equal to AT, right? In the place of BD you substitute the AT in the place of AD. AD is the parallel to the time axis. Value of the AD also t only, right? So t into AT will give the AT square. This is the second equation of motion. S equal to ut plus half AT square. Is it clear, everyone? Is it clear? Yes. Okay. So this is a derivation of equation of motion by using graphical method. Finally, we have one more topic. Next one, circular motion. Right now, what is the circular motion? So you are here. Our body is moving in the circular path. Okay, so here in each point the direction of the path we are changing, right? The direction of path changing means the velocity is changing. So the motion of a body in a circular path is called as circular motion. Okay, when body is moving in the circular path, then we can say that is moving in the circular motion. So when will you say that body is moving in uniform circular motion? When it is moving with equal speeds, you have to tell here speed only, not velocity. Velocity is changing. How it is changing? The direction is changing, right? So here everywhere the direction is changing means velocity also changing, right? So here also velocity is changing, right? Here also direction is changing. Here also direction is changing. Here also direction is changing. At each point, direction is changing, right? On circular path, in each point our direction is changing, right? If our direction is changing means velocity is not constant, velocity is not velocity is non-uniform here. But we have to say while defining uniform circular motion, our body is moving with uniform speed, not uniform velocity. Velocity changes with the direction. If direction is changing means velocity also changes, right? So you have to use your uniform speed, not uniform velocity. If your body moves in a circular path with uniform speed, its motion is called uniform circular motion, right? Suppose, how will you get this speed, uniform speed? Uniform circular motion is accelerated motion because in a circular motion, body continuously changes its direction. Okay, and the circumference here body is continuously changing its velocity. That's why we are calling it is continuously accelerating, right? Thus how will you get this velocity? The velocity equal to total path covered, right? Total distance covered by the object. In circular path, if you move like this, then you have to take total path covered by is equal to circumference of the circle. Okay, total distance covered is equal to circumference of the circle, that we can replace with a 2 pi r. So within time we covered this circumference means 2 pi r by time. 2 pi r by t will give you velocity, right? Velocity in circular motion. Okay, then the velocity v is given by 2 pi r by t. Is it clear, children? So your lesson is completed.